वेलकम टू माय चैनल एमएन कोचिंग सेंटर। तो आज मैं एक्सप्लेन करने जा रहा हूँ आपका 7th स्टैंडर्ड आईसीएसई बोर्ड का प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल टिश्यू चैप्टर। तो चलिए चैप्टर को स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो यहाँ पे मैं आपको थोड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट्स एक्सप्लेन करूँगा और क्वेश्चन कैसे आ सकते हैं और उसका आंसर भी मैं बताऊँगा। लाइक क्वेश्चन आंसर से होगा मगर कॉन्सेप्ट भी आपको समझ में आएगा, वैसा होगा। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। तो सिनॉप्सिस, चलिए तो यहाँ सिनॉप्सिस आपके लिखना है बड़े। तो चलिए यहाँ क्या है आप समझ लीजिए। सो द यूनिट ऑफ level of organization is independent in its mode of existence and activity. So यहाँ पे synapse, the unit of level of organization is independent in its mode of existence and activity. So in this all multicellular organisms start their life as a single cell. So and permanent, or also we can call it as permanent as non-dividing. And in that the permanent plant tissue has further divided into three types, that is protective, the supportive or parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and conductive that has the element phloem. So parenchyma cells that have thin walled cells and usually with a vacuole. So parenchymal cells has thin walled cells and it has usually with a vacuole. It has next potatoes mainly or composed, as we can take potato as an example of parenchymal cell. Next, collenchyma or parenchymatous cells which are elongated and or thick at the corners, and this helps to support the parts of the plants. So collenchyma and parenchyma, they are the cells, parenchymatous cells which are elongated further and are thick at their corners, and this helps them to support the for the parts of the plants. And next is the supportive. As you know, the permanent tissue is supportive tissue. So protective, as you know, they protect. So parenchyma equivalent, collenchyma equivalent. Next, let us come to sclerenchyma. So sclerenchyma tissue is formed of long. So they are long. The sclerenchyma tissue, they are long, narrow, and thick cells. They are like long, narrow, and thick cells. They are, and they provide strength for the plant's parts. So they provide a good strength for the plant parts. Next, conductive tissue, xylem and phloem. Let us know that first is xylem. So xylem is formed of thick-walled, tubular, and often they are of dead cells, and they transport water and minerals that are absorbed from the roots, as you know. And old xylem, they are like they form sandwood. So the xylem that are old, they are we call as wood for trees. Trees wood, they are old xylems. Next, phloem is for the living tubular cells which provide passage for the downwards transport of food. So passage that forms for the downward transport of the food. Next, there are four major groups in animal tissue. So now you learned about the plant tissue. Next, let us learn about the animal tissue. So there are four major groups of animal tissue. They are the epithelium, connective, muscular, nervous tissue. So in that, epithelium tissue has four types. They are the squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, and ciliatal epithelium. And supportive connective tissue consists of cartilage and bones. The supportive connective tissue, here you can see. Next, so supportive connective tissue, the support they give the bone. Next, fibrous connective tissue. So fibrous, so it packs and binds most of the organ. So the fibrous, they pack and binds most of the organ. So areolar tissue, so they bind skin to underlying tissue. And adipose tissue, they are filled with the very much fat adipose tissue. And tendon, they connects the muscle to the bone. They connects the muscles to the bones. They are the tendon. Next, so ligaments, they connect bone to another bone. Next, fluid connective tissue, they are the blood and lymph. Next, the liquid part of the blood is called plasma, and the cellular part, they are the red blood cell, white blood cell, and the platelets. Next, three distinct kinds of muscles. They are the striated and skeletal, and unstraightened and or smooth and cardiac or heart. Elongated hair-like extensions called dendrites, and the longest dendrites they are called as the axon. So neural nerve system you may have seen. Next is the systems of the body with the primary vital functions. So skeletal system support and protect. So muscular system they helps in movement. Digestive system they gives nutrition. Respiratory system it helps in workout. It would do exchange of gases. Circulatory system of materials, and excretory system waste removal, and also system is sensation and coordination, and reproductive system continuation of race. Next, let us see some of the questions how they may ask. So a group of similar cells to perform a specific function forms a, so they are the organ system, so they do some specific function organ function system that we call. And the fine branches given out from the cell body of a nerve cell is called as the axon. The fine body we get axon, here I said nerve system, the longest dendrite of the fine body. Next is the fluid connective tissue of the humans is the blood and lymph for the fluids. Next, let us see the short question. So tissue they are the group of similar cells which performs a specific function. Tissue they are a group of cells which perform some. Next is organ. So the different types of tissues which group together to function in a coordinated manner, they are the organs. So next is what is meristem tissue, and let us see how they are different from the permanent tissue. So plant tissues are classified as meristem tissue and permanent tissue. So meristem tissue or the plant tissue which are made up of actively dividing cells. So the meristem tissue, their cells are small with thin cell wall. Cells have large and conspicuous nuclei. Cells have no vacuole. Cells are actively dividing type cells. Next is, so difference between the meristem and permanent tissue is meristem tissue is a present at the tip of the root and stem and in between the xylem and phloem, but permanent tissue they are maybe simple as parenchyma, collenchyma or sclerenchyma, and it may be complex cells are like thin walled, but the permanent tissue these are made up of more than one kind of cells, and these performs a common function. Xylem and phloem form that a vascular system of the plants, and these cells do not have the power to get divided, and these cells may act as a epidermis, cortex or grid cells, but the meristem cells may be intercalary as in case of monocots, and the cells are small and isodiametric. But permanent tissue they are living cells of permanent tissue, they have vacuole, and the meristematic cell has respiratory and biosynthetic activity is maximum, but in the permanent tissue they have both the activities are very much low. And meristematic tissue they have the cells or their cells are immature and mitochondria is simple, but in the permanent tissue the cells fully mature and mitochondria is fully developed. And in meristematic tissue the proplastids act as plastid, but here living cells they act as the plastid. So these are the difference between the meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Next question is, so which living material would you take to demonstrate meristematic tissue? So let us take green gram seeds can be used as for the demonstrating meristematic tissue, which when we soak it in a pedrest stuffed with wet cotton and left it for 3 to 4 days would sprout out, and these sprouted seeds have roots developing whose root tips have some of the meristematic tissues. So therefore we can say it as, so as you know the root tips they are the meristematic tissue, so therefore we can say it as green gram seeds. much primary role of the plant tissue, as it consists of dividing of the cells. Meristematic tissue divides the cells. It is its first work. Next, a tissue is formed of only one type of cells. Yes, so tissue will be formed with only one type of cells. There will be no more types of cells. Only one type of tissue forms an organ. So no, the organ may be formed with many types of tissue. There may be different types of tissues, two or more types. Next, permanent tissue is made up of undifferentiated and dividing cells. So no, as you know, dividing cells are made up of meristematic tissue, but permanent tissue is not dividing cells. Next, meristematic tissue is found at growing tips of plants. Yes, it is true, meristematic there only. Meristematic tissue is found at the growing tips of the plants only. Phloem is formed of dead tubular cells. So no, it is wrong, because phloem is formed of living tubercular cell. Next, so fill in the blanks with the. Next, let us take, how do you rank the following among cells? So next question is, how do you rank the following among cells, tissues, organs, or organisms? So amoeba, it is an organism, as you know. Euglena is an organism, and skin, it is an organ because it is made of cells, and lungs is also an organ, and neuron, so it is a tissue, neuron tissue. Next, cardiac muscle, so it is also a tissue. Next, so epithelium tissue. So epithelium tissue is for protection, and connective tissue is for support, and vascular tissue is for transport, and nervous tissue, as you know, it is a messaging tissue, and muscular tissue. Muscular means movement. Simple, but you should see that, and you should think. Connective tissue, that helps for support, nerve tissue messages, muscular tissue for movement. It may be, if you know 2 3, then other two you will know easily. Next, so let us know about the kinds of tissues that carries oxygen around your body. So blood tissue, that carries oxygen in our body and brings about movements in animals, that is muscular tissue. Next, that is transport food to different parts of the plants, phloem, and transport of water in plants, that are the xylem, and support an animal's body, that is connective tissue or supportive. Next, binds different tissues together, that is fibrous connective tissue, and conducts message from one part of the body to the another, nervous tissue. So the first diagram is, this has a diagram here has cuboidal. It consists of single layer of cuboidal cells. It has cylindrical cells that has oval nucleus, and that is play at the base of the cells, and ciliated epithelium. So it consists of cells being hair-like cilia on their free surface. So answer is figure 1A. First one figure B, and second one is figure A, and third one is figure C. So the first A one is the columnar, second figure is the cuboidal, third figure is the ciliated epithelium. Next, let us know about the difference between the two principal vascular tissue found in plants, that is xylem and phloem. So xylem, it helps in the transport of water and minerals absorbed by the roots, but the phloem, it helps to transport of the food. So it consists of mainly of dead cells, but the phloem consists of living cells, and also xylem consists of conduction of unidirectional, but phloem, it is conduction of bidirectional. Next, so here they have given some more questions, so you can check it out and answer it. So let us, here they have given some definitions. Let us see the definitions. So tissue, as you know, it is a group of cells that have similar structure but perform different functions they perform. And a species, so they are a group of living organisms which can be breed among themselves, constitute a species that have themselves breed themselves. Next, population. So all the members are individuals of a particular species. Thus, that species member or individual living in the animal species that are living in a particular area constitute they are called as a biotic community. Next, biosphere. So it is the zone on the earth in which all living beings they are exist. That zone is called as the biosphere. Neurons, so the cells that constitute nerve tissue that has the nerve tissues are called as the neurons or neural nerve cell also we can say. And connective tissue, so the tissue which connects various tissues in any organ is called as its connective tissue. And next is let us see the difference between the lower level of organization and higher level of organization. So lower level, so the cells is the lowest level organization in this level, and here the species in the higher level, the species are lower level. Here in lower level there are cells here are arranged in lower level. Here species in higher level, cells I mean species are arranged in the lower level. And here in the lower level of organization, cell to organ system level forms the lower level of organization, and in the higher level, population to biosphere forms the higher level of organization. Next, let us come to next question, that is difference between community and biosphere. So community, all the organisms living together in area is the community, and all ecosystem together the living organisms ecosystem together makes the biosphere, and it does not form the highest level of organization. The biosphere they form the higher level of organization. Let us see the some. So species, they are the group of living organisms which can breed among themselves. Question only you learnt. This all you only you learnt. So next, the big question they may ask is lower level of organization. Let us they may ask to explain. So lower level organization, there are among them there are four types. They are the cellular level, tissue level, organ level, and organ system level. As I said in the starting when I was explaining in that concepts, there are four types. So first, let us know about cellular level. And the lowest level of organization is the cell, and a cell is living and can exist independently. So in single celled organisms like amoeba, paramecium, yeast, etc., all have the functions of life. They have the functions like digesting, respiration, reproduction, excretion, and they are performed these things by like a single cell only. Next is tissue level. The next types in the lower level of organization is tissue level. So the cells that are similar in structure and function, and they also organize together to form a tissue in multicellular organisms. So cellular level is single cell, but here multicellular organisms it is. They are single cell. This is not a single cell, so they are multicellular organisms. And so in that of muscle cells and so on. And let us take up example of parenchyma and sclerenchyma. So the organisms of similar cells to form tissues is known as the tissue level of the organization. Next, organelle level. So different types of tissue in a living organism organize together to form organs which perform they have some their own specific functions. They have to do that function, and also this is called as the organal level of organization. Stomach is an organ in human beings that consists of different types of tissue, and it also performs the work of digestion like that only. Similarly, intestine, kidney, brain, and many other organs, they have their tissues, types of tissues, and also they have their own function to perform. And also you can take the different types of tissue in plants. Also there are leaf, it has different types, stomata, exchange of gases. Roots also has different functions, and also it has made up of many types of tissue. To absorption of food, it has function, it has water and minerals. To absorption of water and minerals. Stem for transportation. Flower, it also helps in um, reproduction and also many things. And fruits, they also have its own function. Like that only, every organ has their types of tissue, and also it has some specific function to do. To perform there is for perform a specific function, and also they also work together to perform an organs, like an organ system. So organ system, that is the next level of organ level. Next, for example, like digestive system has a job of digesting food. Many organs like stomach, intestine, liver, pancreas constitute digestive system. So there are in that only, in digestive system we does not say only digestive system as only one thing. It has stomach, intestine, liver, pancreas. Many, it is all involved in doing digestive system, not only stomach or intestines or small intestine only involved in doing digestion. They all involved in doing the digestion of the food. So root and shoot system in plants and other organ systems that perform specific function, they are the organal system level. Next, so let us see the difference between organ and organ system. So organs, it has different tissue, they combine to form organs, and they have some specific function. But in organ system, different types of organs combines to form organ system, and also they have to perform a specific function. Next, finally, which tissue is responsible for increase in the height of plants? So apical, so and where it is located. So apical meristematic tissue is responsible for increase in height of plants. So this tissue, it is present in the tip of the root. There it is the meristematic tissue, there it is present, and the cells of this tissue are like small thin wall, and they divide continuously, and also the plants thereby gets their heights by this apical meristematic tissue. Next, what where it is located? So it is located in meristematic tissue. Their next question was, so meristematic tissue, they are present in the growing parts of the plants like root tip and shoot tip. So this was your chapter plant and animal tissue. So okay friends, I think you understand the chapter. So I explained here chapter also, and also I explained you how they can ask the questions and what may answers maybe you can write, and also I explained the whole chapter. So I think you understand the chapter. So okay friends, let me see you in my next video with another ICSE boards next chapter explanation video. Till then, like the video, comment on my video, and subscribe my channel MN Coaching Center for more videos. So okay friends, bye, so take care. I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care, have a nice day, bye my dear friends.